the BYU kid who's doing this at draft night.
Oh, yeah. Looking around.
Trying to fit in.
Yeah.
A man who's had a rough go over there in New Jersey, New York for that Jets fandom. Outplayed Patrick Mahomes on a Sunday Night Football game where we saw Patrick Mahomes throw 2 picks that we ain't never see.
No.
Weird.
Never see. That type of touch stuff is Patrick Mahomes. So maybe there was just a little bit more humility, or maybe that was this, Swifty breeze.
Yeah.
There's a Swifty breeze coming through
she was there again?
She was there. Also, Deadpool there.
Yep.
Wolverine there.
Yep.
And the chef from QE4 TSG,
Yes.
I've been told.
Really?
Correct.
I believe, yeah, right? Is that all right? Thank you.
Yeah, Anthony.
Anthony, who's from Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, he was there in the crowd. Brittany Mahomes was obviously there.
She was
the whole crew. Diana Rossini was on this video. Before she was on this video, she was getting everything in there. But the energy and juice that was coming into that Sunday Night Football was obviously palpable.
Yes.
But now there's a whole new generation of people watching NFL football, and they're thinking Zach Wilson's a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes.
That's right.
Yes, they do.
And that is something that we got to kind of figure out. And I think this is good for Patrick Mahomes' experience. They get a win. They get past it. But this is just one of those, chip on his shoulder. His strength coach that he personally has is going to be able to pull from this. Andy Reid's going to be able to pull from this. Patrick Mahomes is going to be able to pull from this. Ultimately, in the end, I think this is going to make the Chiefs better, even though they got to win, and he slides and saves the day at the end of the whole thing. But what I saw out of the Jets makes me think, hey, why not the Jets back in the playoff hunt this particular season? Aaron Rodgers told an NBC reporter that he's planning on coming back this season. We saw him walking just around with those crutches.
Look good.
And he said, let me get one. Spun the ball a little bit. What did you take away from last night's Sunday Night Football game, Tone Diggs? Trying to get the bad taste of what the Pittsburgh Steelers are out of your mouth and enjoying the hell out of Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and the boys on Sunday
Yeah, they
night.
stink like Connor. I've moved on.
Smart.
You mean on the field last night?
Didn't you
or
say
just
Canada? No, I'm not getting into it.
But hold on. Where were you going with that one?
Well, it wasn't just Canada.
No.
Because I think he said they need to look at an entire readjustment of the entire organization.
All I was saying is if you are unwilling to make a change, it's going to start falling on your shoulders. That's all I said.
Oh.
Who's your?
Somebody I'll hire in the organization.
Then who?
Then the offensive coordinator, maybe even higher than the head coach.
Oh, higher than
Sell the team?
So you
The Rooneys need to step in and say, get this guy out of here.
That Canada guy?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think you're the only one that feels that way. I think the entire world has felt that way. But it's the first time I've ever heard you say another name that wasn't the Rooneys, wasn't the general manager, wasn't the offensive coordinator. It was that other piece. That is very
I ain't saying it on this program.
No, but in the group text, Tone goes, maybe they should look at firing Tomlin.
Get rid of him.
Yeah, so you didn't say it.
I thought that was a safe place.
No, yeah, Tone said it. Tone was in his emotions. So to get past that, and congrats to C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, that boy's a player.
Yeah, he's a guy. And D'Amico Ryan seems to have them flying around. Congrats to Houston Texans. We thought that juice would go towards TJ, and we thought that would go towards the Pittsburgh team. Instead,
it didn't.
Pittsburgh Steelers were dead. And on the flip side, C.J. Stroud's a dude. I mean, absolute dog. And the way they were able to attack Kenny, I mean, look out for Houston.
Seriously.
That's not a...
Two big wins in a row for them. Are we talking Sunday night on the field or just the
entire thing?
Absurd coverage of what's happening with Taylor Swift and Travis.
Oh, you hate it.
Absurd.
I didn't hate it, but it was on the Sunday night in America on Sunday night program.
Football.
I think that's what it's called.
Yep.
Yep.
It was every 3 seconds.
You know the name of Football Night in America.
Yes,
it was every 3 seconds, and the people on that panel aren't the most up to date with the what's going on in America. So I wouldn't say what they were talking about.
Well, what's going on in America, Tony?
Just in American lore right now. Okay.
Yeah, all right, sure.
Like,
that makes sense what you're saying.
Right. Like, I don't know if Garrett and Sims are the guys that should be talking about what's going on with Taylor Swift and stuff like that. But, the NFL's now got it in their bios. It's the NFL's.
A lot of people very pissed about how this whole thing's going.
Yeah.
It was cute. We were happy for him. Yeah. Now I got to deal with every single first commercial break. Taylor Swift movie coming out. Theaters only. I can't wait.
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go watch. Yeah. I'm thinking I'm gonna go. Second commercial break. The actual first commercial, because they were doing a shot of Times Square, was actually a commercial for Taylor Swift's movie in Times Square. So second commercial break, first commercial. also Taylor Swift, by way of the Times Square kind of cutaway. And then they ran another commercial of it at the end. And then Pacheco scores, and he's about to do his, we can't even get to, they go straight up to, yeah, we're happy in there. So we would like to let the Swifties know we appreciate the hell of you guys watching football.
Yep.
But there are some people in the football community that are not thrilled about how it's going. And I think that is only the beginning because there's a lot of people that think this isn't real love.
What? Who thinks that?
Not me.
What son of a bitch?
I want names now.
Just look on the internet. There's a lot of people that think this maybe isn't real. And I would like to let everybody know, as a friend of Travis Kelce, very lucky. I think we consider ourselves friends. Sure. You know, he lives in a different city. I live in this city. We don't really talk. Yeah, so I don't know. We're close.
That's today's friends.
Close acquaintances.
We are acquaintances. I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
I am thrilled for him. And you know, Taylor, her love story's been documented.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy for her because I think Travis is going to be the guy. She seemed genuinely pumped that entire time for Travis. People seem to be missing that. I think the reason why football fans are so mad is, well, I'm watching football. Okay, all right. You're never going to be able to get that out of people.
Right.
But also, I think a lot of people think they're getting worked right now. Oh. You know what I mean? They think it's kind of a work.
Does she respect football?
I think she does.
Then
what was Travis doing at her place on Saturday night when he's got a game on Sunday?
He slept at the team hotel. He woke up as early as possible, went and visited her, brought her coffee because he's a gentleman, which is exactly what we've been talking about this entire time.
I just hope he doesn't lose sight of number one.
He had the ball a lot.
He looked good.
He had the ball a lot last night. And to be honest, what the Jets defense was able to do in the second half, they tightened that thing real down.
Oh, yeah.
That Jets defense is a real deal. So maybe we need to be recognizing how great this Jets defense is because over the last couple weeks, it's not been talked about at all. Going into the season, it's like, hey, Aaron Rodgers has a defense that's going to be top 3, top 5 in the league. Then the first couple weeks without Aaron, Zach Wilson in there, they're like, offensive line not good. Defense also, what have they been? Last night, they locked it down. This is what we need to see, right?
Absolutely. You need to see it week in and week out. And part of that is the quarterback and the offense moving the ball, putting points up, keeping the chains moving because that gives the defense an opportunity to rest. I don't care how good your defense is. If every time you go on the sideline and you hear, hey, punt ready, you know, a minute after being on the sideline, you're going to get worn down. You're going to get points put on your head. But defense played great. Started up front with the guys getting after the quarterback and making them uncomfortable. But I think the Chiefs in that offense will be okay. They kind of always start off a little slow. And then
you know what I enjoyed, Ty?
What's
and
that?
I think you'll appreciate this. And you too, Connor.
Okay.
Because although you are the talks table, you do like some good team chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Aaron traveled out there the night before and said, I'm sick of the finger pointing.
Yeah.
Okay, can't have it. Felt like everybody was there to lift up Zach Wilson.
It did.
There was arms around shoulders.
Yeah.
There was conversations. LeBron James got in on the action. Hey, Zach, good work, kid. You know what I mean? It felt like everybody was rallying around Zach Wilson. I don't know how Jets fans were reacting in the stadium there early, and I don't know how everybody else is, but it did feel like there was much more of, hey, we don't hate Zach Wilson as much as maybe it appeared publicly we did in the past. And I think that's directly attributed to Old Stash coming back and saying, hey, boys, what did you learn about Aaron and his presence last night? He's moving much better than I think any of us could have imagined.
That is the first thing that shocked me is the pace at which he was moving on those crutches. It was like, oh, shit, he might be back week 10, week 11. So the Jets just need to tread water until he might. But I think you're right. I think he's just a calming presence. He's kind of and Saleh said this like leading up to the season, like he's another coach, you know, and these guys look up to him and respect him in that way. But I think it was one of those things too, where like Zach Wilson, he just he's so inside his head right now, and I'm sure having Rodgers there, who probably talked to him pregame, and I don't know if he was, you know, on the headset at all and could communicate with him.
He was on his phone there.
Yeah, I
think he was checking stats there, see how Zach was doing.
But I think it might have been one of those things where he wanted to show out for Rodgers a little bit, you know, and it's like it looked like he was playing with confidence. Which, like what we've talked about, you know, leading up to that game last night all year is like this guy's broken. He has no confidence. He obviously has all the physical traits that you need to be good in the NFL playing quarterback, but he just had no confidence. And last night he was just letting it rip, and then his guys were going out and making plays for him, too.
Speaking of letting it rip, Tommy Thompson hit a post-safety punt, 80 yards in the air, okay? So that is so far. Just like 80 yards in the air. It's like a 70-yard punt in the air, pretty much. Like my career long is 74 yards, I think, and I got like 16-yard roll for that whole thing. Because remember, when it comes to punting, we don't get the credit for the behind the scrimmage. So it's just from the line of scrimmage. Normally, guys hit the ball about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So if you hit a 55-yard punt, that's actually a 65-yard punt from where you're punting it from. Field goals count from where the ball was placed. Punts only count from the line of scrimmage because it's how many yards you're gaining in a punt, which is the only thing that matters. So after a safety, when you're standing out there all by yourself, it's weird, first of all. I don't think I've ever gotten comfortable doing it. In my practicing, it's even kind of weird because you're standing there, you spin the ball to yourself. As you spin the ball, it's like that's the go, and then you just got to punt it. He hit the ball so far, and they cut away. They didn't even show it pretty much because they were highlighting how it wasn't supposed to be a safety with the face mask happening in the field of play as opposed to in the end zone. And this safety kind of really moved the momentum in the Jets' favor heavily. I mean, it felt like there was real juice in the building in the way the Jets were playing. But Tommy Townsend needs to be right. I don't think I've ever seen a ball hit that far in my life. I mean, I'm sure there has been somewhere. That was phenomenal. Just with how uncomfortable it is. Shout out to Tommy Townsend. Yeah. And also for a nice reminder, just in case I ever start thinking, I should go back to the league. Yeah, I shouldn't. That guy was phenomenal. Speaking of,
Great walk.
Yeah, man, Tommy. I'm a big fan of old Tommy. He's got great hair. Rookie year in a Super Bowl. Just got dropped in there. Didn't hit his best ball. Was excited to see how he was going to respond. He's a dog. He's come back stronger, better than ever. He's a massive piece of that team because normally when you play on very good offenses, you're only punting like 1 or 2 times. And when you punt, by the way,
it matters.
Hey,
big time.
This is really matters. Guys that punt for bad teams are punting the ball 6, 7, 8 times a game. And it's like you can have 4 or 5 misses. You know what I mean? As long as your other 3 are big, because it's a game of averages. That's literally what punting is. When you're punting once or twice, first of all, you got to stay in the game. First of all, you got to stay second of all, you got to stay warm. And then last but not least, when you're punting, it's normally going to be a pretty, like, hey, come on, you didn't do anything today. We need like a 60-yarder right now. It's like, all right, well, here we go. I always appreciated that whenever, because I was very lucky. The guy who's going to join us in about an hour or so, Peyton, and I had never experienced a game where I didn't punt. Always the goal. And I'm on the side of that, for sure. But everybody's like, must be the easiest job on earth. It's like, well, I wish I was punting 10 times a game. Man. Get into a nice groove,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Do the whole thing, hit 6 of them, hit some 4 good ones. No pressure ever. We stink. Let's just move to the next one. So Tommy Townsend, very proud of you, pal.